sit down video for you all. So I know I look a little bit strange, but I'm filming a get to know me whilst I get ready, and I've already done my eyebrows because I feel like eyebrows need big concentration whilst getting ready, so I've actually done those already, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do them. So I'm looking a bit strange at the minute because I've carved them out and everything. But yeah, a lot of people have asked me for a get ready with me, showing what I use for my makeup, even though, trust me right now, I am no makeup expert whatsoever. I'm actually quite crap at makeup, to be honest. But then I thought I'd like to do like a little get to know me Q&A. I think I've done like a first time mum one, but I thought maybe just do like a little personal one so you can get to know me a little bit better. If you're new here, then I am a 22-year-old first time mummy to my little boy Jesse, and we upload vlogs every morning at 9 o'clock, even though the past week it's not been amazing. Usually I do upload videos every morning at 9 o'clock. We vlog every day, and yeah, that's it really. So I think I'll just get into the questions. Honestly, I am no good at makeup. Everyone always asks me what makeup I use, but just remember, filter or not, Instagram sometimes makes things look 10 times better than they actually look in real life. There's actually, I've mentioned this before, but there's a soft skin effect on this camera, so you know, I have got texture, I have got under the skin spots, that's just totally normal. So yeah, just a reminder that Instagram isn't always the truth, filter or not as well. So I'm going to start off with my foundation first, but so I'm actually getting ready for my friend's birthday meal tonight, and you know what, it's very rare now that I actually do makeup because it's just an effort really, and I like to feel comfy, and I don't really feel comfy with makeup on, but when I go out for meals I like to just treat myself and put a little bit of makeup on. So usually I don't do this through the day, like if I'm doing daily makeup, but when I go out I like to just use the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter in medium, number 4 medium. I used to use this just as a foundation on its own, but I've started to just like put it underneath my foundation now. So, and then for foundation I'm using L'Oreal True Match, my absolute favourite. I probably should be using a beauty blender to do this because the beauty blender just soaks everything up. But I'm just using this as like a little bit of a primer. I've already moisturised, I've used Welleda Skin Food. But I'm going to crack on with the questions. Sorry if you could hear Jesse in the back then, he's currently teething, he's with Jimmy though. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with the questions and just get ready whilst answering some questions. So, the main question that got asked, probably the most, nearly everyone asks me this question, and I get it quite a lot on TikTok live too when I go live on there, is what did you used to do for work? Obviously now I'm a stay-at-home mum now, so what am I doing? I don't use this anymore. Obviously I'm not going back to work, I mentioned that in a vlog a few weeks ago now, but yeah, I used to work at, feels weird saying I used to work because I worked there for 5 years, but I worked at a coffee house in my area and I absolutely loved it. It was a little independent one. So I started when I was 17. When I was 17-year-old as a little Saturday girl whilst I was at college, and then I ended up just working my way up from there. I ended up being events coordinator for a while, and then went to team leader, team manager for the shifts that I was working. So yeah, that's where I worked. That's where I worked for 5 years. It would have been 5 years in August. But yeah, I'm still love it there, still going. Well, I haven't been in much recently actually, but yeah, it's really lovely. If anyone's interested, it's Old George in Barnsley. That's where I used to work, and it's fab. Another question someone asked me was, what are all the jobs that I did, have done, sorry. So that one is my main one. Previous to that, when I was 14, I actually did princess parties for a company called Copycat Party Company, and I used to dress up as Belle and Cinderella and go to little children's parties, and I absolutely loved that so much. And the only reason I stopped was because I started college, and the college I went to was a little bit intense, so it meant I had to like have all my weekends free and everything like that. So yeah, that's all the jobs that I've had really. Another question I got a lot was, how did you meet Jimmy? And this kind of ties into the work one. So Jimmy's mum was actually a regular customer where I worked. She came in quite a lot, and I only thought that she had Jimmy's two younger brothers, so Jimmy never used to come in, so I didn't even know like he was alive at this point. And like I got talking to his mum quite a lot because she used to come in like all the time. And then one day she brought Jimmy in, and I said to my boss, I said, who is that? And I know this sounds so cringy, but it genuinely was love at first sight for me. And I know that's so weird because that's all you hear in like fairy tales and things like that, but I literally looked at him and thought, he is the person I'm going to be with, 100%, I know it. At the time he actually had a girlfriend, so obviously I backed off, didn't go anywhere near him. I didn't even realise when I first saw him that he had a girlfriend. So yeah, just didn't think anything of it. I thought, oh, you know what, it don't matter. I wasn't like even looking for love at that time because, yeah, I just was young and I was just like, well, I still am young. But yeah, I just didn't bother. I just thought, that's it, whatever. And then I think it was like 2 or 3 months later, he actually came back in for an event that we had on. We had a Halloween event on, and his mum came in with that, for that with him. And I remember being all excited, and I looked horrendous as well. I remember saying, oh my god, I look absolutely horrendous. And his mum actually told me that night that he was single. And anyway, I was just like, this is it now. He is mine. He actually already followed me on Instagram, so I put an Instagram photo up that night on purpose just so he'd see it, and he did, he liked it. And then I have never messaged a boy first. I've got nothing against it at all, it's just I've never messaged a boy first. And I messaged Matilda actually, and I just said, shall I just message him because I've got nothing to lose, like let's just see what happens. And I messaged him, and the rest is history. Messaged him just saying hey, and it took 20 minutes to reply. I was so scared that he was just going to pie me. But yeah, that's how me and Jimmy met at work. Another question was, how long have me and Jimmy been together? It'll be 3 years in December, so we've been together like 2.5 years. So I fell pregnant just after we'd been together for 1 year. But I kind of knew that Jimmy was going to be the one that I had babies with anyway, and it felt like we'd been together for like an eternity. Concealer, I'm using Perfect Match, same what I carve my eyebrows out with. Just under my eyes, I just do this. Honestly guys, I'm literally no good with makeup. I mean, I've loved makeup since being a young girl, but I'm not like a pro at it or anything. I just slap it on half of the time, and I use a little brush just to like tap it in like that to get all the product like spread, because sometimes with beauty blenders I feel like it just sucks all the product out. So I just tap it in like that and then go back in with a beauty blender. Another question, do you plan to move house if and when you have another baby? Yeah, so preferably I would like to be in a different house when we get pregnant next. We have no idea when we're gonna try for another baby. That was another question as well, so that can be like a 2-in-1. We're not sure at the minute. Honestly, we have no idea. Obviously Jessie was a little bit of a surprise. We weren't planning on having children for like a few years. Best thing to ever happen to me though, like not complaining in the slightest. But I always did want my children close together, so when we have our next child I'm not sure. I honestly don't know, to be honest, but yeah, I would like to be in a different house. I would already like to be in the house before we fall pregnant, just because trying to buy a house whilst pregnant, moving in 3 weeks before your baby's due, is a little bit stressful, and I do feel like it kind of took over the last few weeks of my pregnancy, which I should have been very excited for and enjoying, but there were a few mental breakdowns when trying to get into this house. Solicitors were just being super slow, and it was just a bit of a long process really. And I think with pregnancy hormones in the mix, it isn't the best. I mean, it's doable, 100% doable, you know, everything turned out fine in the end. But yeah, we will be in another house when we get pregnant, which is so weird to say because I feel like we're just going to be in this house forever. I just can't imagine leaving it or finding another house that I have like the same attachment to. Next question, I want to know more about you doing MT. I did MT as well and experienced so much. So if you don't know what MT is, it's musical theatre. So yeah, I'll start at the beginning. So I started dancing like at a local dance school when I was 6 years old, and that's how I met all my friends, how I met Matilda, Ellie and everybody like that. Let me just tell you what I'm using for my powder before I carry on. I tend to switch it up sometimes. I am looking for a very good loose powder. If anyone's got any recommendations, please let me know, because I'm struggling to find like a decent one. I'm just using at the minute just the Fit Me one just under my eyes with a little Real Techniques brush. But yeah, I started dancing when I was 6 years old. Absolutely loved it, and I think from that moment I kind of knew that I wanted to do performing. and yeah, I did pantomimes, I went to Sylvia Young's theatre school for the Easter sessions. I just loved everything musical theatre, dancing, singing, acting, the whole lot. I absolutely loved it, still do. And then when it came to like choosing a college and things, there was like a very good performing arts musical theatre college near where I lived, and I got in there. I had to audition to get in. Got in, had the best experience time ever with all the people there, literally amazing. But I do feel like towards the end of college, I kind of realised that I was starting to dislike it because of how it was kind of being portrayed, and things were getting into my head about what people were telling me and things. The school was amazing, but I do feel like it was a little bit toxic at times, and I think then I realised that I just kind of wanted to love it as a hobby and not as a profession. And yeah, do you know what, it's gutting really, because there's sometimes I go and watch a show and I think that could have been me up on that stage. I auditioned for Institute of the Arts Barcelona, I got in there, I got on reserve list for Bird, I got a recall for Erdang, and just, I think it was when I got my recall for Erdang, I just realised, I was like, I don't even want to do this, like, I just don't want to do it. And it's really upsetting because, like I said, when I go and see shows, I'm just absolutely gutted, and I'm like, I miss it so much, miss doing it. Everything happens for a reason, because if I didn't stop that, I wouldn't have met Jimmy and I wouldn't have Jessie, 100% not, because I would have stopped working, I would have gone and worked, you know, professional dancer, whatever, wouldn't have met Jimmy. I mean, I might have, who knows, but I don't know, it all works out, doesn't it? But yeah, I absolutely love musical theatre. Legally Blonde is my absolute favourite musical of all time. I still get goosebumps every time I listen to like any musical at all. Yeah, just absolutely love musical theatre, to be honest. A little bit gutted I did stop doing it, but you know, I love the way my life has turned out. Would you ever move anywhere else abroad or in the UK? Well, when me and Jimmy first ever got together, we said to each other we wouldn't like to move out of where we live right now, and that's still the same really. But then when we went to Thorpe Park, we were like, we just so could live in a caravan. We could just live on that site. I said to Jimmy, I just would stay in a caravan on that site and be happy there. I don't think I'd ever move out of the country. I am such a home bird. I love being at home. Home is my comfort, and my town is my comfort as well for some reason. I just love being like where I was born and where I've grown up, so I don't think so. And if we ever did, I think it wouldn't be long term, it'd be like for a month, but even then I don't even think we'd even do that. But yeah, I don't know. I used to powder. I've stopped powdering because someone told me that's why I look so matte sometimes, so I stopped powdering. So I don't know whether to cream contour. I don't think I'm gonna. I'm just gonna go in with some contour now. I use Charlotte Tilbury, this big massive one, airbrush bronzer in medium 2. It's all rubbed off on the back, and then when I do go out, I like to mix in a bit of MAC Give Me Sun. This thing is like eternal. I've had this for so long, and it's like looks brand new still. So yeah, and I just use this brush. I'm so bad at bronzer, honestly. I feel like it just goes so muddy all the time. What is your best and worst trait? Oof, I feel like I'd have to think about this one. Best trait, I'm very caring. I do know that. I do feel like I'm a bit of a people pleaser though, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. But I get like really stressed out if I feel like someone thinks I don't like them, or if someone thinks I've come across rude. I absolutely hate that. Like, it literally makes me feel sick. So I like to just try and please people, and you know, I'll happily do anything really, unless it's something I really don't want to do. But I don't know, I'd say I'm caring. I'd like to think I'm a good mum. I'd say is that a trait of being a good mum? I don't know. Worst trait, I'm a little bit impatient, and sometimes that can like be bad. I don't know, you know, like just I'm a bit impulsive, and then sometimes I look back and think like, why have I done that? Mostly in terms of shopping and buying things. I'm like, why did I do that? And I feel like I don't sit and think about things, which is why I think me and Jimmy are so good for each other. Jimmy's just like very good at advice, and you know, will always give me the realistic version of something. I feel like in my head sometimes it's a bit like fairyland and I think everything's going to work out perfectly, and unfortunately in the real world that's just isn't how it happens. So I'd say being impatient is probably a bad trait, and I don't know what else really. I'm sure there is one. Probably worrying too much. I am such a worrier, it's unreal. I really am so bad with stuff like that, like even the littlest thing. I don't know, I just worry about absolutely everything. You know what, I'd say I'm a bit socially awkward as well sometimes. I feel like I am very confident because I'm absolutely, you put me in front of a camera, I'm absolutely fine, like no problem. But sometimes I do feel like I'm a bit socially awkward, and sometimes I stutter a little bit, and I don't know. That's not a bad thing though. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Oh, where do I start? Oh, that's a very hard question. Probably pasta or pizza or McDonald's or KFC. I love all sorts of food like that. But if I had to choose one, you know what, I think I am going to say pizza. Definitely pizza. Do you have friends that do social media like yourself? Yes, I've got Ellie, who's been doing social media for quite a while now. She's got a YouTube and an Instagram, and I think lots of you have come from her actually, so hi if you've come from Ellie's page. But yeah, Ellie's been doing YouTube for quite a while now. That's the only friend that I've got that does social media, I think. Yeah. Oh, I've got loads of like TikTok mummy friends that obviously do social media. I've got so many. Most of my mummy friends, I've said this before, but I've met online. So yeah, I'm very grateful for those. They all do social media and like TikTok and Instagram and things. What is your top goal in life? Ooh, good question. I'm not actually sure, to be honest. I've got a lot of goals. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to use next. I'm using the Beauty Light Wand Glowgasm, Charlotte Tilbury. I just put a little bit of this on my cheeks. Just like dot it like that. Again, I only use this when I'm like going out nice somewhere, or if it's very hot. I like to just use this and I just tap it in with my fingers. Top goal in life is probably just to be always happy, always be able to support my family. That's a big one. And you know what, I think sometimes when you think of goals in life, I think everyone thinks that you want to be like a millionaire, but honestly I really don't. I don't want to be a millionaire or, you know, be absolutely loaded. I want to always have something to work towards. I just want to be comfortable, if that makes sense. I just want to live a nice comfortable life, you know, where I can go to B&M and spend as much as I want in B&M without having to worry about looking at my bank. You know, be able to treat my kids, be able to treat Jimmy, and just live like a nice comfortable life. I think that's my top goal in life. Just be satisfied, be comfortable, be happy, and make sure that all my loved ones are happy too. What are your plans for when Jessie starts school? You know what, I've not even thought about this until you asked me this question, because I've actually no idea. I've no idea. Absolutely no idea. I can't answer that question because I'm not sure. I totally forgot that I'd probably be at home on my own while she's at school. Who knows? This is what I said to work, like, who knows, in 2 months' time I might think, you know what, actually I do want to go back to work. So when Jessie starts school, I'll see how I feel. Obviously we've got a while to go yet. He's only 9 months old now, sorry. But you know, when he starts school I might think, you know what, actually I'm ready to go back to work and find, like, you know, a little part-time job. So I might do that, or I might just be happy just staying at home and doing household tasks. Because I am enjoying it. I am honestly enjoying doing the washing, putting the washing away. Yeah, I've actually no idea. So maybe if I want to start like a little part-time job or something, that might be the case. And then for just on top of that, I use the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I can't even see, I think, oh, Cheek to Chic Pillow Talk blusher, just a tiny little bit because it is very pigmented, very pigmented. What was Jessie's name going to be if it was not Jessie? So Jessie's name was originally Theo. Look at that, see what I mean? It's very pigmented. So yeah, when we first found out we was having a boy, I always said that if we ever had a boy I wanted to call him Noah. That was like my top boy name. Absolutely love it. Still to this day I love Noah. But Jimmy just said, like, no, like I don't he likes it, but he just said he doesn't think it's right. And I thought that I'd be able to persuade him, but I couldn't. So then I ended up liking Theo and getting I ended up getting like a big attachment to Theo. and I feel like me and Jimmy had not properly spoke about it, because every time I asked Jimmy what name he wanted to call our child, he'd just come up with something silly like Yellop. He mentioned Yellop. It's just boys being boys, isn't it? But we never had like a proper fully like serious conversation about what we were going to call our child. I mean, if you've been watching my vlogs, you know exactly what Jimmy's like. He just can't have a serious conversation. So yeah, I liked Theo. I told everyone I was calling him Theo. You know, most of his cards say Theo. I had 2 bedroom plaques bought for him by friends and family that said Theo on it. And then when I went into labour, Jimmy said, I said, oh, so is it going to be Theo then? And he was like, oh Liv, I just don't know. And I was like, right, okay, I'm literally in labour right now. This baby's coming and we've not got a name. So when Jessie was born, the midwife said, oh, is it Theo then? I need to write his tag. And I just looked at Jimmy and I was like, I know he's not happy with that name. So I just said no. So he was actually baby boy Spencer, because when you're not married, the baby goes in the mum's name until you've registered him, her, and if you do want your baby to have the dad's surname. In our case, Jessie does have Jimmy's surname, but whilst in the hospital until he got registered, he was baby boy Spencer. And for a week, Jessie didn't have a name. We were so like, oh, we just didn't know what to call him at all. I do think it is one of the hardest decisions ever. It is so hard to name your baby. I don't know how anyone does it. Honestly, if you can do it before they arrive, I'm clapping you, because we found it so difficult. I know some people have like a set name and things like that, but we just found it so difficult to name him. So after a week, he was literally a week old, and I said to Jimmy, like, right, we need to come up with a name now. We've been talking all week about names. The only name we agreed on was Jessie. And it's so weird, I've said this so many times, but when me and Jimmy first got together, we were talking about girls and boys' names, what we were going to name as babies, and I said we agreed on that if we ever had a boy, we'd call him Jessie. So I don't know why we just didn't call him Jessie from the go, but yeah, it is Jessie. And that's it really, that's how we came up with his name. I just said to him, I said, right, we need to come up with a name now. I said, the only name we can agree on is Jessie. I said, so is it going to be Jessie? You're like, yeah, I guess so. He said, well, I'm still not 100% on it. Obviously he is now, but it's very difficult to look at a newborn baby that doesn't have much features and decide what to call him. It's a big decision. It's really, really difficult. I'm just using NYX Control Freak eyebrow gel just to fluff my brows up. If I'm being honest, this is not the best because it doesn't make them stick. I just like it, well, it does actually, but it don't like make them go fully up like soap brows. I need to go and get my brows done again actually. How was postpartum with Jessie? It was more difficult than I thought it was going to be, I'm not going to lie. I found postpartum quite difficult mentally, more mentally as opposed to physically. So I did have a 2nd degree tear, but I did feel like that wasn't majorly painful. I know everyone's totally different. It was just a bit uncomfortable, but I didn't experience much pain after giving birth. Only when I was breastfeeding I used to get like stomach cramps and things like that. But I'd definitely say I struggled more mentally than I did physically, and I feel like I did keep it in quite a lot as well about how much I was struggling mentally. And I just remember going upstairs and just crying, and I just thought, when am I going to stop crying? Because it was the baby blues, honestly. They hit me so hard. I was just crying about everything, every little thing I cried about. And I think I was more upset because everyone talks about this newborn baby bubble and how you're just so like, you know, so happy. And obviously I was happy, I'm not saying I'm not happy, but everyone spoke about the newborn baby bubble, and I was just like, why am I not feeling that? Why am I not feeling this bubble? Why do I want to cry? Why am I upset? Why is this affecting me? And it wasn't even anything to do with Jessie, because he was like he was a really good baby, still is. We just did struggle with the breastfeeding side of things, which I do think did factor into how I was feeling postpartum. But yeah, I definitely struggled mentally. The thing that made me feel much better was getting out of the house. We stayed in the house for a full week before leaving the house, and next baby I definitely want to get out of the house as soon, not as soon as possible, but just a little bit quicker. It's because I was breastfeeding at first, and we were really struggling with Jessie latching and things, and I didn't want to take him out into the public and him get really upset, me get stressed out because he wouldn't latch on and things. But obviously that won't be the case next time I have another baby, so I do want to try and get out a little bit quicker. But yeah, I definitely struggled mentally. What type of character were you as a kid? Quiet, loud, etc. What a good question. When I was a kid, I was so confident, so outgoing. I'd speak to anybody. Like I said, when I went to Thorpe Park when I was younger, I was up on that stage every single night Nothing bothered me, and I so wish I was still like that now. I just didn't give a crap about what anyone thought about me, to be honest, and I don't know what happened along the road. I mean, I'm still confident now, but I do, obviously I've said previously, I do worry about what people think about me and things like that, and I just wish I wasn't like that. But yeah, when I was a kid, I was just very energetic, very bubbly, very loud, very annoying. Yeah. Mascara, I use Sky High. I only use this because it's dried up, and I just like to get this, I use this to like just space them, and then I go in with my all-time favourite mascara. Nothing will ever compare to this, Lash Sensational by Maybelline. It is amazing, my absolute favourite mascara in the world. Ideally, how many kids do you want if house etc wasn't a problem? I would love 3 children, but you know what, I would love a big family too. I'd love maybe 5, no, not 5. I think my maximum I'd go is 4. I do want 3. I bet Jimmy's listening to this thinking, what on earth? Oh no, I wanted to put eyeliner on today. So yeah, ideally I want 3 altogether, 3 children, if I'm lucky enough to be able to do that. So yeah, if house wasn't a problem, 3 children. I never usually use eyeliner, but people have been doing like little cat eyes recently, and I've been loving it. I usually only put eyeliner on when I've got eyelashes on. I'm not putting any eyelashes on tonight, so I hope it looks okay. I think I'm going to do this off camera because it's very, this is like an intense moment. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about that, but I managed to do it. I literally use Natural Collection like £1 eyeliner because it's amazing. It literally does the job, and it's got like a really lovely thin applicator. So I love that. It's mascara and questions. Favourite ice cream flavour has to be mint choc chip all the way. I do like a chocolate ice cream, but I love mint. What baby girl names do you like? Oh, I love so many baby girl names. I think baby girl names are like top tier. But my favourites when I was pregnant with Jessie, it was Grace, Sophia, and I love Mila now. I really like Mila. I think it is a very popular name now, but it's really grown on me, and I think it's the most gorgeous name. I just love it, Mila. Boys' names, however, is a different story. Obviously it took a week to name Jessie. I feel like it's going to be really difficult to name if we have a boy, which we are definitely going to have. Everyone says to me, how do you know you're having another boy? I just know we're having a boy when I get pregnant next, 100%, without a doubt we are having a boy. And if we're having a girl, I will be so shocked. I've had the tarot reading that confirmed it. I just know I'm having a boy. How has having Jessie changed your mental health? It's definitely changed it for the better. I feel like I've never really struggled with mental health this side of my lifetime. Probably from meeting Jimmy, I haven't struggled. When I was a little bit younger, I did actually have cognitive behavioural therapy at 15-year-old for anxiety and things like that. But I feel like my mental health wasn't majorly bad anyway, but I definitely do feel more like positive about life now that Jessie is here. I feel like I just needed him, and I didn't realise I needed him. Because like looking back now, I think like, what did I actually do with my life? Like me and Jimmy just think like, what would we do if we just didn't have Jessie? It's so strange. But yeah, it's definitely changed for the better, 100%. I'm actually really liking this winged liner that I've done. Eyebrows always go crap. I could never have a good brow day. What career did you want to do growing up? Definitely a musical theatre performer. Wanted to be on the West End. In fact, take that back. When I was about 11-year-old, I was absolutely obsessed with the fact of being on Coronation Street. And my goal was to be on Cora. Obviously never got there, unfortunately. But yeah, I wanted to be on Coronation Street so bad when I was a little girl. I was absolutely obsessed with the idea of me being on Corrie. How did you have the confidence to do TikTok, YouTube? I think it probably comes from me doing musical theatre. I think I'm just confident in that sense of like speaking to a camera, because I don't know, I've been doing it all my life, like performing in front of people. Not that this is performing, this is real life. But yeah, I think I'm just like kind of used to it. At first, if you watch my first ever vlog, you can tell that I'm not like how I am now, and I'm a little bit like reserved. But yeah, I think it just comes from having a performing background. But honestly, if you want to do it, just go for it. You know, even just start with TikToks. You don't have to speak. You don't have to show your face, just do a little day in the life with me, you know, show what you're doing that day, and literally upload it to TikTok. And if you don't feel confident speaking to the camera, then that's absolutely fine. You can still like do you know, little days in the life on TikTok, because people love to watch that stuff. I love to watch days in the life, so don't ever feel afraid to do anything like that. Favourite takeaway, it depends how I'm feeling that night. Probably Chinese. I do like a McDonald's, so I know that's not really a takeaway, but you can get it delivered. But definitely Chinese. Did you ever expect to blow up like this? I don't feel like I've like majorly blown up. I feel like I have got a very nice audience, like a very nice small audience that I enjoy. I didn't expect it though, no. I think I literally just uploaded a random video one day onto YouTube of me scrolling, not onto YouTube, onto TikTok, of me scrolling through a scrapbook that I'd done for Jessie whilst I was still pregnant. And it got like 200k views, and I'm like, what? I literally just flicked through a scrapbook. And then I started to do like things that I enjoyed doing, like you know, organising the nursery, and then I think people just enjoyed that, and I started to get followers. And I've wanted to do YouTube, I've said this before, for the longest time. I have wanted to do YouTube since I was a little girl, when I wanted to be on Cora. And I did actually do YouTube when I was younger. Obviously all the videos are deleted now, but yeah, I was called SmileChick365. And then I've said this before as well, but someone found my video from school and shared it onto Facebook. Little me was distraught and deleted all my videos. So yeah, I mean, I didn't expect it, not at all, no. But I absolutely love it, really love it. I love doing it, and I feel like this is what I was meant to do. Have any tips on being body confident after a baby? I do think this is really difficult, honestly, and it's something that I have been struggling with recently. When I first gave birth to Jessie, it wasn't an issue because I thought I've literally just gave birth, and that's what you have got to think of. You've literally housed a baby for 9 months, you gave birth to a little baby, and don't bring yourself down at all about it, because you know, your little baby was in your tummy growing. And I feel like only recently it started to like totally affect me, but I don't think that's because of the baby weight from Jessie. I think it's because I just eat crap and I don't exercise. And I feel like that's only recently I've started to think like, right, I need to sort something out now. You know, I don't want to go on a fad diet or anything like that. I know that the best way to lose weight is a calorie deficit. So I'm just starting off slow by like drinking some water, having the odd piece of fruit here and there, and I'm going to try doing some walking. But I do know it's difficult. I totally know how you're feeling if you're not confident with your body after having a baby. Plans for YouTube, TikTok. I think just to carry on going the way that I'm going, really. I'm just enjoying doing it, really enjoying it. So I haven't got like any major plans set in stone of like what I'm going to be doing. I just think I'm going to carry on doing my daily vlogging because that's what I'm enjoying, just uploading on TikTok still. I do want to be a little bit more active on my Instagram stories. I just sometimes I forget to upload stuff on there, and I'm like, I've not even uploaded out on there. But yeah, I think just carry on going in this direction and just see where it takes me. Right, I think that is about it. I've done my makeup. I just need to put my lipstick on. I'm just going to do my hair now. I'm not going to apply it now, but for lipstick I use Charlotte Tilbury Penelope Pink, I think. Yeah, Penelope Pink. It's my absolute favourite lipstick. It's just so beautiful. It's very light, very glossy, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, I mean, that's my get ready with me. I'm not fully ready. I'll show you the finished look though. But yeah, that's everything I use on my face. I hope you enjoyed this little question and answer, and I'll definitely do more in the future. I'll come back to you when I'm all ready. Right, I'm all ready to go. I'm just in my Tesco dress because honestly I just feel like nothing looks good on me at the minute, so this is the only thing I kind of feel comfortable in. So I've just whacked this on, just styled my hair, just straightened it a little bit, put it back. I always finish with this setting spray. I do feel like it actually works as well, so quick spritz of that. I've got my lipstick on and I'm all ready to go. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you want me to do any more Q&A things, let me know. I like doing Q&A, so any sort of style Q&A you want me to do, just let me know. But yeah, I'll love you and leave you here. Bye! Full stop. Can't believe I live in your